For some reason, I'm not entirely surprised.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where you watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Mm-hmm.
No surprises here.
No surprises here. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would have loved a surprise or two.
Just something.
Anything.
So we're back. This is our part one, or eventually part one, our full break.
We'll get there.
Full breakdown of the 2008 rom-comedy Fool's Gold.
That's one way to put it.
Was 2008? Was that when McConaughey was in his reconnaissance? Or was that later?
I mean, we can look it up. When was the reconnaissance?
Reconnaissance.
This is early 2010s. So
okay, so a couple years after,
slightly pre-reconnaissance, I guess.
Okay, this is the kickoff, maybe. Yikes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
According to Wiktionary, which I trust.
It's on the internet. It's believable. Do you want to give us a quick recap on what this movie's about?
Yeah, unfortunately. So we did Fool's Gold, in case you forgot. Premise here is a new clue to the whereabouts of a lost treasure rekindles a married couple's sense of adventure and their estranged romance. Still hate that it starts with a new clue. Yeah. Why?
hasn't gotten better.
We don't have old clues. It's all new to us, the viewer.
We were pretty close on our prognostications, or no? I don't even remember.
We went with Goonies meets. I forgot what my movie was. Crap,
Castaway. Big.
No, no, I didn't do either.
National Treasure.
Yeah, a little bit of National Treasure. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But no, we're not close. Other than when we said that all the good parts were in the trailer.
Yeah, this was definitely everything, like they made the trailer try to be upbeat and fast because this movie is boring.
Such a slog.
And again, 2 hours. You don't need this to be 2 hours.
Way too long. And when I say the good parts, listeners, I'm being very generous. There are none.
There are none. Just watch the trailer because that's all of it. That's pretty much all of it.
That's a lie. There was one part I genuinely enjoyed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you enjoyed the same scene, but
I don't know if I enjoyed any of this.
One very specific 5 seconds that I really, really liked.
When it said the end.
Oh, that too. Okay. So I guess if you count that, then there's 2 parts.
Oh my God.
I'll call it out when we get there because it was my favorite.
Yeah. So this was a slog. Keep moving here. I'll do some quick info.
So
this was, as the trailer told us, this was directed by Andy Tennant, who did Hitch.
Well, did the trailer even say Andy Tennant, or did it just say from the director of
No,
Hitch?
it just said that from the director of, from the director of Hitch.
Which he did at that point he hadn't done Bounty Hunter, but like Sweet Home Alabama was huge. Like, why wouldn't you include that if you're going to do, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Hitch was pretty big too, but yeah. So I don't know. He's done some stuff. Screenwriters,
3 movies that we've heard of.
That we've heard of. Screenwriters, there was 3 on this. The director Andy was part of it. This mess. John Claflin and Daniel Zellman. Mm-hmm. They seem like they were like a bit of a team. They've only done like 4 or 5 things, and
the only thing that Daniel Zellman is known for is the TV show Bloodline. He's done most of that, it seems like, which I think is a pretty big TV show.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I never watched it, but
me neither. But I've heard things about it. So yeah, he's got They Nest, which is a TV movie in 2000. Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid in 2004. Fool's Gold in 2008, and then just 2 TV series. So
yeah,
and his buddy there, they worked for 3 movies. It seems like together, and that was it. So
that sounds right.
Yeah. So who's in this?
A surprising amount of people.
Yeah, actually, they're surprising amount. So we got Matthew McConaughey. He plays Finn, which I didn't even know his name in the movie until the end.
Yeah,
it was like once they said it, I was like, oh, his name's Finn. Okay, yeah, all right.
I guess his name. I mean, presumably Finn is a nickname because unless it's just very funny because I think he's
Finnegan.
He's credited as Finn Finnegan. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Not on IMDb, but like when I looked at Wikipedia or somewhere else, they call him Finn Finnegan, and I'm like,
okay. All right. Racist. And then we got Kate Hudson. She plays Tess. Donald Sutherland plays Nigel. I don't know why he needed to be British.
I don't either, but I appreciate it.
And he's definitely not French German, is what we thought he was from the trailer.
No, and but I think just like rich British, so like putting on an accent kind of thing.
I'm rich British.
That's right.
That's right. Alexis Dziena.
Yeah, that's an Eastern European difficult.
Yeah, I've seen her before. She plays, how we pronounce this name? Gemma, yeah. Right. Okay. Friend of the pod, Kevin Hart, plays.
Wait, is that a bit? Did I pronounce Gemma wrong?
No, I did. I called it. First time I did it, and you're like, what did you just say? And I was like, and you're like, I think it's Gemma. And I was like, all right, name guy.
I don't remember what you said, but I bet it was funny.
I'm not going to say it.
Damn it.
I will not be made fun of twice in this podcast.
Gemma, did you say Gemma? I hope you said Gemma.
I don't think I don't remember.
But also, like, what an old lady name. Such a weird, like, it was jarring to have her called Gemma in the movie, I think.
It's British too. So we had friend of the pod, Kevin Hart, plays Big Bunny.
Which, just calling it out now, because it's not worth calling out later. There's a line later when Kevin Hart's character, Big Bunny, like spells his name for people, and he's like, one word, Big Bunny. Then like everywhere else it's referenced, and any other time anyone says anything about it, and like when we see it written in the movie, and it's spelled 2 words. but he says Big Bunny, 1 word.
It's a deep cut joke.
2 G's. Yeah. I don't know what they were doing.
So else we had Ewen Bremner, he plays Alphonse. Ray Winstone plays Mo. Malcolm-Jamal Warner plays Theo.
My favorite.
Brian Hooks plays Curtis. Tom O'Sullivan is the precious gem crew member number 2. Okay. All right. I need to start doing these again.
Why? You would have just not included half of those?
No, maybe. I just put him like one per. It's Matthew.
You stopped the McConaughey.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, this movie, money-wise.
So much money.
Oh my God. You're making me do math too here. So total, it did 110 million?
Oh, did I forget to write the total? Yeah.
That's right. So domestic did 70, international 40, and then video another 20 million. Holy smokes.
Wild. Like 1.2 million DVDs sold. How?
The budget of this?
I know.
70 million?
I know.
What?
I mean, so I don't know if you
did all the scuba gear, like this, like all the water work, like the yacht,
I mean, filmed in Australia, so you gotta ship everyone to Australia.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of production delays, which I'll get to in the fast facts. But
oh man,
yeah, I don't know how you get 70 million out of this. There's nothing in the movie. There was like nothing and no people.
Yeah, I mean, you just had the actors in a yacht, and that was it, and a couple scenes underwater, and that was it. Like,
maybe the yacht, yeah, like that boat that they blew up at the beginning.
Waterworld cost a ton of money. So I mean, and this was just on the water. So
this is basically Waterworld, yeah.
Basically Waterworld.
Basically the same movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, and then Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at 11% and 48 audience.
Somehow 48 audience. I don't understand.
Those are the hardcore McConaughey Hudson fans. That's what that is. Like, you can't. This movie's not good.
I know they exist, but
yeah. You don't have to like everything your heroes do.
No.
All right. You want to fast fact me, Daddy?
That's right. Okay, now you're saying it.
Gross. I hate it.
Yes.
It's so gross.
I'm in. All right. I got
you pulled these, so I'll let you run them.
Thanks. And you'll be proud of me. I didn't write them all down. There's a shocking amount of IMDb trivia about this movie. Way too much.
Yeah.
So anyway, here we go. Mo Fitch. So the character Mo, right? He's
played by Ray Winstone.
Yep, exactly. Based apparently on a real treasure hunter named Mel Fisher, whose Key West Maritime Museum has a bunch of gold and silver artifacts from Spanish treasure ships. So
that's cool.
Some amount of real life in this movie, weirdly.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Hard to believe. Yep. And then speaking of those production delays I was talking about earlier, apparently there was a big infestation of deadly box jellyfish.
What?
Like in the waters that they were filming in, on like North Queensland, I think.
Yeah.
Which is funny for a couple of reasons. One is box jellyfish are only native to like that area of Australia, so like it's very obviously not the Caribbean. For a number of reasons, it's very obviously not the Caribbean. But that's one of them. And yeah, apparently they couldn't shoot in the water for like weeks because of this. So maybe that racked up the bill, because you're not going to fly everyone back again, right?
Yeah, right. No, you keep everyone down there. And then looking at the cost of the yacht here, the next fast fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of, the Precious Gem was the name of the yacht in the movie, is actually a 135-foot yacht built in New Zealand. I don't care who it's designed by.
Yeah.
And its real name is the Carrie Lee. And apparently costs $70,000 per week to charter it and can accommodate 12 guests.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Why, we should get it when we hit the big time with this.
That's right. For a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Just about a week.
Just about a week is enough.
Yeah. This one, I don't know how I feel about this next one, but it was like funny enough that I wrote it down. So apparently Kevin Hart had never seen the word facade written. And so when he said the line, "Don't you think that this is a fakeade?" Apparently he said it like 3 times before Andy Tennant was like, "Hey, by the way, not that. That's not how that word is pronounced." And so they asked him what they thought he was saying, and he was like, "I don't know, but I know I sold it." Like, great line delivery by me.
Kevin Hart and I have something in common. We can't pronounce words.
Yep, and commit to not pronouncing them correctly.
Yeah, you got to stick to your guns, right? Like, I don't know. I said it, so it's got to be right.
Yeah, get them all over again. This one I thought you'd really appreciate. So apparently there was a rewrite of the script by a real writer.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
Kenneth Lonergan. No shade on him for not wanting to be credited here, because it's bad. Yeah. The writer of Manchester by the Sea, Gangs of New York, Analyze This, Analyze That, like a bunch of like good famous movies.
Yeah. Successful. Yeah.
Yep. Apparently, rewrote a bunch of it and didn't help.
Wow.
Bad job, Kenneth.
Yeah. Hey, I guess they can't all be winners.
No. They sure can't. We would be out of the job if they were.
Yeah, right.
So another fun one, Tom Cruise was apparently originally considered to star in this, which I think would have really changed the movie. Yeah.
He actually would have been hanging off the boat and done the stunt jumping onto the plane.
Well, yeah, and like I think it might have made the movie watchable. Like if somebody had done if somebody had been doing the stunts that I knew Matthew McConaughey was not doing, I might have enjoyed it. Apparently, he turned it down because he was doing Lions for Lambs, which is another crappy movie.
Yeah, that's not a good one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we could do that on the pod eventually. If we
Probably, right?
It's under 30. I just checked. A solid 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
We haven't done a Cruise movie yet because he doesn't really have a ton that are under 30, but we'll take
That's true. Yeah. Not a lot of stinkers.
No.
But anyway, pick a slightly better stinker instead of this one.
Yeah.
And then I have a one that we like to do.
Oh, God.
In 2005, Matthew McConaughey starred in Sahara, which has a very similar character to Finn.
Finn Finnegan?
Yep.
Okay.
Where he also has a sidekick that's sort of named Alphonse.
How is it sort of named Alphonse?
His name's Al.
Oh, okay.
So in Sahara, his name was Dirk Pitt. Who knew lots of history and was diving for treasure, and his sidekick is Al Giardino. So like, I'm assuming, I haven't seen Sahara, but I'm assuming it's also like kind of an over the top, like, kind of racist, like stereotype character, like Alphonse was in this. Like, some random Ukrainian guy will just assuming he's a random Italian. And then I got one last one that we'll hate.
Oh, God.
Maybe the worst of all. Save the worst for last.
Oh, my God.
Kevin Hart, who plays a rapper named Big Bunny, later voiced a bunny.
It's supposed to be one word, by the way.
I know. Later voiced a bunny named Snowball in The Secret Life of Pets.
Oh, my God. I'm not even going to acknowledge that exists.
Yeah, please don't. Tell me I'm good.
Hey, nice job, bud. Nice job.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Jared stepped up because I was not doing my job. So
yeah, just like last episode.
Yeah,
two in a row for you.
Yikes, that's a pattern. Yikes. All right, you want to Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker?
Sure.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, so a little bit wishful thinking as always. This movie's obviously King of California meets Delirious.
Okay.
So have you seen either of these?
I've seen Delirious, have not seen King of California, I don't think.
Okay. And not the newer, there's like a Delirious from the early 2000s that I have not seen, but this is the 1991 John Candy Delirious.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's obviously Delirious, mostly for like just the vast exposition.
Yeah.
Like wildly unnecessary exposition.
So much.
So in Delirious, in case you forgot, or for the listeners who may not have seen it, the basic premise is John Candy is like a writer on a soap opera who, like, you know, he's like, things are not going so well. Maybe he's not going to be as successful as we thought he was. And then gets into a horrible accident and realizes that, like, you know, along the way, maybe the soap operas were the friends we met along the way.
Because he's like in a coma, isn't he? He's like, then, but the movie is him like in his coma, like living out in the soap opera, and he meets all the characters that he's created. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Which includes lines like, right, so if I walk out this door, I won't be on a soundstage. Rather, I'll be in the hospital of a fictional town. Or like when he discovers that when he writes things, they actually turn into real life. And he's like, so whatever I type happens in real life. And things like that, which is like fits perfectly with this movie because they do so much of that.
So much.
They beat you over the head with the story. They tell it to you 10 times, like literally read it to you. Probably 10 times.
and they make you read it and then they tell you.
Yes, exactly. And both of them kind of end up having disappointing endings with like relationships because in this one they get back together again, which is very frustrating. At least in Delirious, he like breaks up with the person who he doesn't bad for him and ends up asking out the new person from the deli there that he gives the role to. So like it kind of works out better for John Candy than Matthew McConaughey. But anyway, so it's that meets King of California, which, so you haven't seen that one?
I don't think I have.
Okay. That one's like relatively new, 2007-ish, around the same time, actually. Okay. Michael Douglas, Evan Rachel Wood, other people that I have never heard of, but that's basically the whole cast there. And it's basically the same movie. So came out a year before. So I'm going to say maybe this is Fool's Gold is a ripoff of King of California.
Wow. Really Fool's Gold, huh?
That's right. So Michael Douglas's character is like this crazy old man who's been locked up in a insane asylum for years. Derelict's dad. So they both have dads who just want to be loved by their daughters who can't really be, you know, they can't really be bothered. The daughter is the main character in King of California. Gemma is not the main character.
No, it's a secondary. It's like a B plot line. That's just like,
at best,
it's pointless. It's pointless.
So those relationships aside, Michael Douglas's character, basically the reason why he got put in the institution in the first place is because he's like obsessed with finding this lost Spanish treasure that he thinks is buried in California somewhere. And so they both have a bunch of treasure hunting, like you spend half the movie treasure hunting. They end up finding it in King of California under a Costco. They like dig a big hole under a Costco that ends up in like some like watery pit, like it's like a big watery hole, just like in this movie.
Just a big blowhole there.
Exactly. They do a bunch of scuba stuff, just like in this movie. Scuba. They end up kind of like faking you out and thinking that like maybe you didn't get the treasure, but really like they did get the treasure, kind of thing. Same movie. And where it gets into wishful thinking is at the end of this, Michael Douglas's character like like the cops are after him, and basically he just like swims off into nothing, and they're like, and they never found his body. And that's what I wanted this movie to end with. I wanted Matthew McConaughey to just like float off on a board and never be seen again.
Into the sunset.
Yes, please.
I was kind of hoping just the plane crash was it. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Wrap it up early.
Yep. Right.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
What do you got?
That's good. That's good. So I'm going with it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Sergio Leone, Clint Eastwood Western meets the 1987 rom-com Overboard with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Okay. I've never seen Overboard. I don't think.
Okay, I'm going the good, bad, the ugly, right? Because that one, right? It's kind of about two bounty hunter. They make like a they get together as like make an uneasy alliance, right? To against like a third guy, the ugly there.
That's right.
In a race to find a fortune in gold buried in a remote cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, I mean, they do find clues to where the treasure is in a cemetery, right?
Yep.
And Finn and Ray Winstone's character kind of team up to kind of race to help each other to go find the treasure before Big Bunny, right?
Yep.
So I'm going that, and then meets Overboard because there's a yacht.
Yeah.
There's a lot of falling in water.
Yep.
Goldie Hawn is Kate Hudson's mom.
Right. I forgot. Great point.
And there's a, wife. So that whole thing, she falls off the boat. She has amnesia, right? And Kurt Russell is like, makes her think that he's, they're married and like, this is her life, whatever. Right. Yep. So trying to, find some kind of, relationship with someone like this movie, Finn trying to save his marriage, and have a life with Kate Hudson.
Yeah. No, you're right. When you're right, you're right.
And you know what? Yeah, I think I'm right. So
good pitch.
That's it. That's what I'm going with. Yeah.
Huh. Nice and tight.
Yeah. Got some gold. We got some boats. We got some yachts. We got some amnesia. It's all there.
Yeah. Just like
some
this horrible movie.
I wish I had amnesia about this movie.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
As soon as we're done recording, I'm blocking this out.
I've already forgotten about it. All right. Well, should we get into this? Take this.
Yep. Last thing before we get into it, only because derelict on my duties here, I forgot to tell the listeners that the amount of money this movie made is about 22,000 phonetics.
I was going to say we were missing something, but I was like, you know what? Maybe he's just having an off day. Nope. I have an off day.
I unoffed myself.
Unoffed yourself. Okay. That's weird. All right. Okay. Let's relive this nightmare.
Yay.
Scene by scene.
As is tradition.
Okay. Yeah. So we get HBO, right? Presentation. We got the old Warner Bros, right? Same group of teammates there.
Yeah, and some very dramatic music.
Yeah, and then we get the ocean, and then we get so much reading.
All right, this is my first gripe, my first of many. Do it like the trailer, like why? In the trailer, listeners, I don't know if you remember, but they had like some kind of cool sepia animations of boats and things when they're explaining this. Like, do that instead. They literally just show you the ocean and then text and a lot of text.
It's too much reading. I don't need this much reading to start a movie. Don't make me do that.
No, not at all.
I'll give you like one title card that's got like one sentence, and that's it.
Sure, that's a reasonable, I guess.
This is like 3 paragraphs of reading.
yes, and it keeps coming. Like you're like, oh, they're done. Okay, they must be telling the movie now. Oh no, okay, well now they're done. Okay, yeah.
And then what's the are the dates wrong? Did they change the dates, or what were the dates?
Yeah, I thought that too. I didn't bother looking it up because
did they explain that? Because like in the trailer, they said July
31st. Yeah, 31 ST.
31 ST standard time, Spanish time. And then this one, it's July 24 TH.
Right.
Theatrical hour.
That's right.
17:15.
Why would you do this?
Yeah, I don't. Was there something in the movie there where they changed and said, "Oh, a week later this happened"? Maybe I don't remember.
I don't think so because
it's the same thing. Like, like what?
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that because I forgot that it was the 31st.
31. Yeah, 31 ST. So okay, so it just opens up a lot of reading, and it's really we'll get to the ameliorate.
Yeah, it's like 100 words, listeners. Like it's too much.
It's a good start. Great start. And then we get the credits, right? And we get the shots of, the islands from the trailer, the goofy zoom shot thing going on.
Yeah.
I was supposed to look up what it was, but
fire up the Caribbean music.
Yeah. We get the title card, Fool's Gold. So basically it's, this whole scene is just Matthew McConaughey and his buddy there scuba diving, looking for stuff, right?
Yep, exactly. And then we're keyed in on this, like, I don't know, like generator or something like that. I don't think they really explained what it was, did they?
Yeah, because like they
compressor for
it was it was for the they were like vacuuming or something underneath, and it was like it was just like a generator. It was like a gas powered generator that was running running this machine. It was like basically sucking stuff up, and maybe I don't know what they were doing with it, but
malfunctioning, right? So it's like sparking everywhere. Seems like it's about to fall off the boat. Like not going so good.
What are those things called? Was it the Rube Goldberg? What are those things where it's like the man in the hat and the thing that falls in the ball? It's like this thing's running, it's sliding off, and then a piece of paper comes by that catches on fire. Then that floats into the cabin. And then something else catches on fire, and the boat blows up. I'm like, what's going on?
Yes, no, you're right. That is exactly what they do here.
Yeah,
it takes way too long. Like cut this scene. I know we're not in ameliorate yet, but like, cut all of that.
Yeah, get to it. So anyways, so the boat catches on fire, blows up. They're still underwater, and then we get a cut to the two guys on the beach there, Theo and Curtis, right?
Yep,
hanging out, drinking beers, watching them, and it's just a shot from the trailer. They surface, and kind of his buddy there. He's kind of a dummy. I was like, I don't know. What's going on here?
I don't either. Side fast fact for you. I cut this from Fast Facts, but I'm going to bring it anyway.
Hit it.
Somebody put this in the IMDb trivia. The comic book that the burning page a piece of paper lands on is Invincible, a comic series by Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead. Nothing to do with this movie at all. I don't like. Why would you put that in the trivia?
Like what?
Like this, nothing about this movie has Robert Kirkman in it.
I also didn't get like then when this piece of paper is floating through and they cut into the boat, like they did a close up of a map, and I was like, I guess
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? Like
nope.
I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, so they surface and their boat sinks behind them. They don't know. It's kind of weird, like goofy, kind of supposed to be like a lot of stuff in this movie is oddly like randomly slapsticky.
Yes,
and it's like weird,
but not funny.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just so out of tune for like the rest of the movie. And this is one of those moments a boat is like sinking behind them, and they're like, "We're undersea," and they don't realize the boat sank, whatever. And then they surface, and he goes back down once he realizes the boat's down, and that's when he grabs it's all from the trailer. He grabs a photo of him, and
it takes so long to notice.
Yeah, like
what? How? Like it exploded. Violent explosion.
Like you would feel the boat sinking behind you, just like, basic perception.
And meanwhile, Ewen Bremner's accent is so distracting. Like it's the worst Ukrainian accent I've ever heard, I think.
Yeah. When he starts talking, I was like, is he just a dummy? Like what's happening here?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but like apparently don't let Scottish people do Ukrainian accents.
Yeah. Like why? He doesn't. Why does he have to be Ukrainian? Like just let him be like person. So yeah. Anyways, they surface, and then the two guys are on the beach there. Curtis and Theo. They come over and they're like, whatever. Put him at gunpoint. It's off the trailer, right?
We're gonna call him Theo the whole movie, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, what's his actual name in the movie? It's Malcolm-Jamal Warner. So he plays.
Yep. It starts with a C also.
Yeah, two C's. Like Cordell.
Yeah.
Cordell and Curtis. So.
Yeah, Theo.
Yeah, it's Theo. Yeah. So then that's kind of the opening, right? And then we jump to we're in a yacht, and we cut to Kate Hudson crying in a yacht bathroom, right?
Yep, that's right. The only thing that we should also call out is that Theo is doing a wild Caribbean accent as well.
Yes, he is.
Everyone's doing like really bad accent work in this movie, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess the important part is that this is where McConaughey finds the plate, which is important. That's got the insignia for the Spanish, right? The what's his face there?
Yep.
It's a clue, right?
Yeah.
So we cut to the yacht here, where Kate's crying away here, and she's what do they call those people? Steward, I guess. Yeah, but right?
they didn't They didn't call her that until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
So we have no clue what she's doing.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she's one of those yacht people who works on a yacht.
Yeah. Oh, she's yacht crew member number 2.
Yeah. Pretty much. And we meet Donald Sutherland doing a British accent for some reason. I don't know why he needs to.
Just
but
rich guy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, rich guy stuff. And then basically we get some exposition about her and she's divorced.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, right?
Well, she's about to be divorced. So that's the exposition. It's like he's talking to his ex-wife, and
that's right.
She's like, "Oh, thank you so much for stopping at Key West. Like, I really appreciate you." You know, and he's like, "What did you say you're doing again?" Because he totally forgot that he was supposed to stop in Key West.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, well, that's where I'm getting my divorce." And he's like, "Was it your idea?" And she's like, "Yep." And he's like, "Okay." And she's like, "I'll tell you about it sometime." And he's like, "I don't care."
I don't
like. I wish they had stuck with his character being disengaged like this for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that would
instead of trying to like make him care, because I was like,
it's like
this is more realistic. I'll tell you about it if you must.
Yeah, like, no, I don't care. Go get me a glass of wine or something.
Yeah, exactly. So then cut you to the bar, right?
Yeah, and then we're in the bar. This is one of the one of many shirtless McConaughey moments here, and
it begins.
We meet yes, and so it begins, and we meet Kevin Hart's Big Bunny, right?
Yeah,
he's a rapper.
Yes, he's a rapper. Yep.
Yeah.
This is where I got a little confused because I was only half paying attention. I thought he said that fixing the boat was going to cost like $7,000.
I don't know. Honestly, like the first 20 minutes of this movie, I was like, I was playing with the volume so much because like I can't hear what they're saying and I have no idea what's going on.
Fair, yeah. I think apparently it was more like 60,000 because I think it's the number that he rattles off later that he owes
62,781, whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So I think it's that number, but it sounds like he's like, oh, it's going to cost like $6,000 to fix this boat, and you're like, oh, well, you're a famous rapper. That's not that much.
That's come on, that's easy money for you, right?
I don't know. And then basically he goes on a whole spiel about how he like borrowed money from Kevin Hart, and that's where I was like, so is the 62 grand to fix the boat, or is that like, I think maybe it is like $6 grand to fix the boat, and the rest of it is money he borrowed.
Yeah. It's
which
60. Yeah.
How do you get to know a rapper well enough to borrow money from them?
60 grand. I mean, come on. Like,
what?
If there's any rappers out there want to lend us some money,
yeah, we'll definitely pay it back.
Wink, wink.
He's explaining how he borrowed the money in order to pay off his debt to someone else. It's just like, so that way I'm good for it. You're like, okay, that's not okay. But
yeah, he's basically trying to swindle for some more cash here, and then he talks about the plate that he found. He's like, "Oh, they're saying I found
from the Howard Johnson."
Yeah, from the Howard Johnson. It looks like a plate from Howard Johnson. Mm-hmm. And
thank God they didn't make Kevin Hart have an accent.
Yeah,
that would have been too much.
It's so funny to watching Kevin Hart not really be Kevin Hart either. Like, he's not the Kevin Hart that we know.
Yeah,
he's a little subdued, and he's like trying to be kind of serious. It wasn't towards the end he got a little goofy, but it was just, I don't know.
Yeah, it reminded me of that show on Netflix. I think I told you to watch it. I can't remember now. That he did where he plays a stand-up comedian, like in like the trials and tribulations of being a comedian on the road and what like it's a much more serious role. I think maybe I had that on the brain and I was like, okay, I'm in this Kevin Hart mindset. I forgot what he is in 90% of things. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was enjoyable for 2 seconds.
So then they knock McConaughey out, right?
Yep. Which this is one of, I think, 4 times he gets knocked out cold.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
That's not good for your brain.
No, it's like overboard. He's gonna get amnesia or something, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It all comes back. Mm-hmm. All right, so then we're out in the ocean. McConaughey's still shirtless. And basically this whole scene is the 2 guys, Theo and Curtis, are going to sink him. They got a anchor tied to his feet, and they're going to throw him overboard. Yep. Which, why wouldn't you shoot him and throw him overboard? Like, do both. Yeah. Just, have you guys ever seen Dexter? Just make sure. Like, and you're like, hey, any last words? He's like, yeah, tell Tess I love her. So we get that little nug. Oh, he still loves his wife. Yep. And basically he's like, they're like, who's Tess? Oh, my wife until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah. And I like that. The guy puts the gun down and I was like, wait, is he going to like let him go? Softy him into, yeah, exactly. But then he was like, well, and like, you'll never get to tell her. Good luck. See you later. See ya. And they try to throw him off the boat. And then somehow Matthew McConaughey manages to like fight off these like 2
in pretty good shape, full grown dudes. You're like, this is unrealistic. Like, and he's chained up besides.
That's the comedy part. And then he somehow gets the gun. He pulled the gun from his pants, the other guy's pants. And then
oh my God,
he takes a shot. He shoots one guy's ear off and shoots the other Theo in the foot. Right.
Yep. He shoots both of them somehow.
Yeah. It's just really goofy. And then he falls into the water because the boat takes off. They take off. He goes down, and then
the music in this scene's so weird too, because it's like spy movie music.
Yeah. And then he's like underwater, and this was just like, this is like a Looney Tunes, like cartoon right now. And he's like jumping with the anchor, like trying to get to the gun, whatever.
Yep.
Like,
he's got
what is happening?
Oh my God.
So goofy, like a more slapsticky kind of thing going on. And he used the gun to shoot the chain, so he gets away. But I'm like, he's still in the middle of the ocean. Like, what?
Yeah. You're somewhere off the coast of, let's pretend it's Florida.
Yeah.
Not going to end up well for you.
No. And he just starts swimming, and then it cuts like a sunset. And then we cut back to the yacht with Tess. All right. Kate Hudson.
Yep.
And I was like, what is this scene for?
Nothing.
And it's literally, she's talking to two chefs.
The kitchen guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Who I come back later.
They have names, but like they're also credited, I think, as like Precious Gem staff member number 1 and staff number.
Oh, really?
3. Yeah.
Like, yeah, and oh man, and again, this whole scene is basically just them doing more exposition about Matthew McConaughey and how he misses appointments and stuff like this.
Yep, and they're basically like, "We're in love. We want that for you too."
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so it's basically just teeing us up for like, oh, he's clearly gonna be late for the divorce thing tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. But we cut to like this whole sequence, just like, why? This is so stupid.
Yep.
He's just floating on something. I don't know what it was.
So long, like 3 minutes. They give like 3 minutes of him floating on a cooler. He's like on like a empty cooler.
Like, well, I was like, all right, what's gonna happen now? And what's like, gonna happen?
Boats drive by, like a couple of boats drive by, and you're like,
what's gonna happen?
Yeah, what? So he tries to flag someone down finally.
The bro boat. Yeah.
The bro boat stops, and they're like taking video of him. They're like, "You from Cuba, man?"
Yeah. And they throw him a beer, and then like the girl flashes him. I'm like, what is going on?
It appears you've run dry of the sacred nectar.
What is this?
He just goes, "Decent rescue." Then they give him the tie-dye shirt that
he wears for the rest of the movie, pretty much.
Wears in the trailer than the rest of the movie, yeah.
Like, unless he doesn't need to wear a shirt. Yeah. And then they're on the boat and they're cruising around. Like the scene is so long for no purpose. And he's like, all right, take a left right here. And they just all get tossed from the boat. I'm like,
they just take a wicked hard left and throw everyone off of the boat. And you're like, that seems unsafe.
Like, what is going on right now?
I don't know.
Why is this happening?
It's so frustrating. So we cut to like
the city hall, right?
Judge's office or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
And they're all waiting for McConaughey there.
Yep. And they're
seen from the trailer pretty much.
Yep. And we get more exposition. Every scene is just full of exposition where her lawyer's like, well, the judge is going to give you everything, because that guy's not even going to show up here. And she's like, you married a guy for the sex and expected him to be smart. And she's like, well, the sex was good. And you're like, great. Another great unnecessary joke that we're going to shoehorn in the rest of the movie 15 times. Makes me so mad.
Thanks for setting that up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. And this is like only maybe 15 minutes into the movie. And it was like, this is a slog already. It's so boring.
I'm so tired.
Yeah. And then basically also queuing up that he has no money. Right. So clearly he needs the treasure, and that's going to make things everything better. Right. And
Exactly.
because he's not there, she's going to get everything, which is not much other than a boat. Right.
Yeah. And meanwhile, he's like racing to get there. It's one of those classic scenes where he's like scrambling, doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And it's like cuts between the two of them. And basically they're like, she wants to loan for something, I guess for student loans, maybe. Yeah.
Because she wants to go back to school. Right.
Yeah.
And she wants to move to Chicago and go to school or something like that. That's her plan.
That's her whole plan. Finally, Finn shows up. He's wet, out of breath. He's like, no, this is a mistake. I want to make you happy. Like, I'll go to counseling. And she's like, will you come to Chicago with me? And he was like, I'll definitely go to counseling. Like, okay, well, and then it didn't matter. None of it mattered anyway, because they've already been divorced for a minute.
Yeah. And then she leaves. And then she just leaves.
Yeah.
And then it's the stuff from the trailer. It's actually everything is from the trailer here. So it's just him following after her and then telling her he found the piece of the plate. And she's like, "Where's the plate?" He's like, "I don't have it. Some Big Bunny's got it or whatever." And where is he? He's over there, blah, blah, blah. And it's all from the trailer. And basically he's just trying to convince her that, hey, we should go find this thing. And we get more talk about she wants to go back to school and go to Chicago. And then she hits him with some old guy's cane.
He's like, going to school is crap. You want history? It's in the ocean, baby. Okay.
Alrighty.
And he like goes on a big long rant about school and it doesn't matter. And she's basically ultimately says, "I'm glad I'm not married to you anymore." And she said, did you already say that he spilled the beans on the boat being gone? Because she's like, "Oh, I'll just sell the boat that I got in the divorce just now." And he's like,
hey, about that. Yeah.
And then that's when from the trailer, she steals the cane from an old man and knocks him out again, knocks him out cold with it.
Yeah, that's number 2.
Second time.
Concussion number 2.
Yes.
A lot of brain damage. Then we get a little montage, right?
Yep, a nice reggae montage of her researching the plate, basically.
She's on a boat doing research. Yeah, because he drew the pattern of the plate for her, and she matches that up with a painting of
the Vanger
Spanish guy
family crest or whatever.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's the same as the plate." What?
Yeah. When we get to like the
that's my kid Hudson,
half,
by the way.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
What? When we get to the second half, you'll see my notes all turn into like, and she says this and that, and who cares? Like everything is just who cares because nothing matters in this movie.
Nope. And then we cut to a bar. Oh yeah.
Well, they do a quick cut to the kitchen guys and Tess.
Oh right, and then but they cut back and forth, and they don't need it, but they cut to him going to the bar. He meets up with his Ukrainian buddy there, right?
Yep.
Alphonse, is that Alphonse?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And then they cut back to the yacht. She's on the yacht talking to the chefs, right? Yep. Get exposition about the rapper there, Kevin Hart, right? And they're like, he's a real bad guy. And then we cut back to the bar, and the Ukrainian guy's like, "Oh hey, there's a yacht out there with some rich dude, Nigel Cunningham, classic, right? That's Donald Sutherland."
Yep.
So it gives him kind of an idea where to get some money from. And then we cut back to the yacht, right?
Yeah, that's right. In between there was a very quick throwaway of like, again, Kate Hudson is like, he's only a genius at treasure and sex. Like, he's not good at anything else. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't care. Right. Is he good at the treasure? Because it hasn't worked out so far. Yeah. So yeah, she's serving Nigel dinner now, back on the yacht. He's like, "Oh, well, I can't leave Key West because I need to wait for Gemma, my daughter," which I thought he said granddaughter. And so I've been thinking granddaughter until she shows up and goes, "Daddy." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Fast fact me, Daddy.
Yeah. So I was like, "Wait a second, is this show the podcast?"
So they kind of set that up that she's going to arrive via helicopter,
which they talk about a lot. And then when she, not to spoil that, but when she ends up arriving by helicopter, there's no helipad on this yacht.
No, it's not that kind of yacht.
And like she ends up walking up. And like, instead of like, if she was on a helipad, she'd be walking down.
Yeah.
It's all very stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Cause like, that's right. Cause even getting Kate Hudson's upset. She's like, "I just want to get out of here."
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's the whole point of having a helicopter, because that you can fly wherever the boat is."
Right.
But you can't. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And then we cut back to the bar again.
Well, then, yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to go through the rest of that scene?
No, not at all. I was gonna say
you were gonna skip 3 more scenes.
Yeah, I was gonna skip all this back to the bar stuff, but I think you're right. You go back to the bar, and then
because then they're talking about it's basically you're setting up that they all share the same information. So like they just give us the same information as the audience 4 times now.
Yeah.
Like, back at the bar, they're also talking about how the daughter is going to be arriving by helicopter.
Right.
And then they do like a long montage with some reggae music of like him seeing the helicopter, walking around outside. Then we get a quick cut of Kevin Hart also walking around outside. They like comedically walk past each other and don't notice.
Yeah.
You're like, this is asinine. And then Finn ends up still walking to get there. Everyone is like excited that the daughter arrives on the yacht. She's like, "Daddy," and like he's gonna take like a little dinghy out to go meet them.
And then there's like, well, there is like one quick thing before we get to the daughter arriving.
Sure.
That he does. Donald Sutherland does like another exposition dump about Tess and like her character and who she is, right? Like literally, he's like, "Oh, I'm good at reading people." I don't know what accent I'm doing there, but it's my Donald Southern doing British via German, and he's like, "I'm good at reading people. Oh yeah, this is who you are," and it's like, okay,
yeah.
And then there's another montage, I think.
Yep.
After she
that's the
arrives.
montage I was talking about with like him walking to the boat, basically.
Yeah, I literally wrote. I was like, I think there's another montage. Like, I have no clue what's happening. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, Finn ends up taking like stealing a dinghy from somebody, seemingly.
Right.
And riding out to the boat around when the daughter arrives.
And she's an idiot, and
she's like, "Is this the whole boat?" And he's like, "Yeah, sorry."
And she's like, "I'm gonna go shopping," and he's like, "Try to keep it under 50K."
That's when Tess's role, like, there's a couple of cuts in between there where Tess is like role playing with the kitchen guys, and she's like, I'm gonna tell them about the treasure. We're gonna turn this into a thing." And you're like, it doesn't. None of this matters at all.
Yeah, just get rid of all this. And then, the daughter's on the boat and she's going to the mainland there to go shopping, whatever, right? And she loses her hat. This connects things together a bit.
They show you her phone and she's texting a friend about how much she hates her dad.
So
and you're like,
cue the B story here, right? The father-daughter trying to reconnect. And she loses her hat. And then this is like, again, another one of those like slapsticky Looney Tunes kind of moments. Like,
it's ridiculous.
McConaughey sees it and he, punches the boat, like gets flying towards it and like try to go get the hat, and like,
so stupid.
He jumps out of the, like, this was so, explaining this is making me, it's painful. He like jumps out of the boat and catches the hat and lands back in the boat. I'm like, what is this movie?
Yeah, which like when he lands, he like lands on his right side, and then like the next cut, he's like on his left side, being like, "Ow, my left." You're like, okay.
And doesn't he get another concussion here? Doesn't it like? Isn't this when they bring him on the yacht?
He's not unconscious.
He's not. Yeah.
But he's definitely not feeling good.
So then they drag him back to the yacht, and he's laying on the yacht there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, so the one thing that we missed, so he doesn't just injure himself by falling into the boat, then her boat runs him over.
That's right. I was like, in this
he's
big
like,
ocean.
He's like, "I got the hat. Yeah. And he's like celebrating, and then the other boat like runs him over.
It was so goofy. And like, she's like, "Watch out!" And the guy driving the boat was like, "What? What is going on? Why is this so stupid?"
Yes, it's so stupid. So then now they drag him onto the yacht, and Gemma is like, "Daddy, like this man saved my life," and you're like, "What?"
You're an idiot.
Yeah. He gives her the hat. She's like, "This is the bravest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like somebody saving a hat like that for me."
Yeah. And then the boat dock is like, "You can't go anywhere. You got to stay here."
Yeah. So Nigel's like, "Oh, yes, thank you indeed. Like, don't, they're basically like, you have to stay for dinner at least. Like, why don't you take a shower and get some clothes and cocktails on me?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right.
All right.
And then that's when
your yacht here.
She forgot her phone, and her dad grabs it and sees the message.
Nokia, yikes, right?
About how much she doesn't want to spend time with him. And,
yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it is.
And how she wants to kill him or kill herself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. By throwing him overboard on his own boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're back on land, right?
Yep. We're in town with Big Bunny.
And he is hiring Ray Winstone's character Mo here to find the treasure.
I think he's trying to and failing.
Yeah. And he's like, "Here's the plate." And Ray Winstone's like, "Oh, okay.
Who the hell are the Vangers? Why would I care?
And he's like, "I just want you to find the Queen's dowry." He's like, okay.
Mo's accent shifts through this movie too, where Ray Winstone, he's doing Southern and then British. You're like,
okay, the old Southern Brit.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
And then they're back on the yacht. There's so much yacht time. We're on this yacht for,
most of the movie.
Yeah, 80% of the movie, right?
Yep.
And then
she's practicing her speech again. She's like, I got to tell him this time. I'm going to tell him about the treasure. We got to go do treasure stuff.
Yeah. And so McConaughey was on the boat since the afternoon.
Yep.
He's been on the same boat. Yes. Hours. And now it's nighttime.
Not that big of a boat.
It's not that big of a boat. We know it can only carry 12 people.
Right.
And she's bringing dinner out. It's now nighttime. And he's sitting at the table with the daughter and Donald Sutherland, hanging out, having a glass of wine, just enjoying the evening.
Yep. And she's shocked.
Yeah. I was like, how would you not know? Like, the crew would be like, oh, yeah.
You probably brought him the wine.
Yeah. Like,
yes.
Like the rest of the crew would be like, oh, we picked up some guy who like had an accident on the boat. And she'd be like, oh, like,
oh, I should go look at that guy. I don't know, like,
just so coincidental. Like, oh, okay.
So stupid. So mad. So she throws these plates of like really nice steak dinner, like looks like, at everyone, like smashes the plates and like,
I'd be like, what are you doing?
And then she screams and runs away. Like actually just like, she's just like, ah, and like runs away. And you're like, what?
And Donald sounds like, oh, I guess you've met.
I take it you've met.
Mr. Bond.
Basically, yeah.
As he's petting his cat.
And then and then like they like everyone acts like that's totally fine and normal.
Yeah.
And then like she's back inside, like they cut back to inside and she's serving them again. And you're like, she's over it now. She's like that's screaming and smashing and like what did everyone have for dinner?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they're not gonna eat glass food.
the humor and the tone of this movie, it can't quite find its footing. I don't know. Like it's just so weird, slapsticky moments, and then like stuff like this where like, no, what? This isn't. What are you doing?
Yep. And then we're back to exposition about treasure.
Oh my god,
so much of it.
Oh my god.
Which it's got a couple of funny lines in there. Like the daughter's like, the sea is all attached, right? Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, can we go to the Yucatan instead of sailing around doing nothing? And she's like, to be fair, at least that is close. Like, like it's probably like a day of sailing from there.
And then it's just like, yeah, just so much exposition. And like Donald Sutherland's like, oh, what did you tell me about the treasure? And then it's like, it feels like it's like 10 minutes long of them.
Yes, it is.
Talking about this and telling them everything. I'm like, is this scene still going? And it's basically everything we read in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
They're recapping again here and then some. And it's like, just go do the things. Don't.
Yep. And like, then they get into some weird specifics about the treasure, which I didn't understand. They're like Indian diamonds and Burmese rubies and Colombian emeralds the size of your fist. You know,
it's like,
why?
What?
Who cares?
Yeah.
And then they go on to talk about how they lived in Spain for 2 years at some library and just spent the whole time fucking in the library, I guess.
They love books. Yeah. And
fucking, right.
Oh my God. And then it's just coming across we're setting up an exposition about how smart, Tess is, right? Like she's the brains of the operation, I'm just here,
Yeah, he is stupid. We get that several times.
Yes, we understand. We've seen how many times he's gotten hit in the head.
Yeah, exactly. And then like meanwhile, like while all this is happening, the daughter is like slowly caring more and more, and she's like, oh, like Castaway, like the movie Castaway. And you're like, what? And then she has a great line where she's like, wow, you guys must really like treasure.
What the fuck? So stupid. And then, of course, like stating the theme of the movie too, where he's just like, it's something you just can't give up searching for. You can't give up on, right? And they look at her. He looks at her, and they, you can't give up on the relation, their marriage.
Yeah,
I forgot how each other.
I forgot how angry I was here because then they go off and talk about some other thing like discovery.
Yeah.
And like, I just didn't care at all. So I wrote, I can't follow this. I can, but I don't want to. I will not.
Like, what is going on? Why is this happening?
And somehow McConaughey tells a interesting enough story that like the daughter is crying now. She's like, so invested in Sebastian Vanger's story. Like, who gives a shit? And then the daughter's like, but I'm too stupid to help. And he's like, don't worry, I'm stupid too. And everyone's like, aw,
we got two dummies in the room.
Yeah. And then they wrap it up with the scene when he's like, anyway, that's our idea. And then Nigel's like, Gemma, what do you think? Treasure hunt in the Bahamas or a month in the Yucatan? And she's like, will Finn teach me how to dive? And he's like, yes.
All right.
Gross. This is gross. She's like 20. Like, disgusting. His ex-wife is right here.
So that's it. And then, oh my God, the whole scene, brutal. Absolutely brutal.
They decide to start their adventure.
And that's it.
Half an hour into the movie.
Oh my God. That's it. I think that we're gonna split there. So I mean, I don't know. Are they gonna find this treasure? Are they gonna not be stupid? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Is Matthew McConaughey gonna bang that 20-year-old?
Is he gonna put a shirt on?
We'll find out.
Probably not. Oh my God. So yeah, that's it. That's part one. We're almost there. So
yeah. Will we get to see Kevin Hart rap?
Sadly, no. All right. Yeah. I don't know. That's it, right? We're going to.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. You made it this far. Part 2 is coming soon. We'll be back on Thursday with that. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. Send it to a friend who might enjoy it. Otherwise, subscribe wherever you're listening. And we are also on YouTube, so you can go listen there too.
That's right. The new youtube.com/ @ It's This Meets That. Somehow. I don't know why they did that, YouTube, but
that's weird. Really? The @ symbol's in there?
Yes.
I didn't do that, did I? No, they did that by default.
No, that's how they do it. Yeah.
Really?
They just rolled that out. They it's like new YouTube handles, like an easier way to get to YouTube profiles. And you're like, why would you put that in? Like, just leave the symbol out.
Yeah. All right.
But such is life.
They must know something. I don't know. Maybe they laid off all the people who knew what they were doing.
That's certainly possible.
But anyways, subscribe wherever you want to listen to us. So.
Mm-hmm. And while you're subscribing, you can also be reviewing, especially Apple, Spotify, anywhere that lets you do that. 5 stars would be nice. Maybe a comment if you're feeling generous, or if you're feeling very generous, you can send us an email, long form content. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website, find everything that we just said and more, and maybe less, depending on where you look. But all that info, old episodes. Is this?
It is.
Damn it, we should have said something at the top. No one's going to get this far.
Yeah, this is it. This is episode 200.
Yeah.
So.
Woohoo, 200 episodes.
Yeah, we did it. Were we supposed to have a song? We were supposed to have a song.
That was the song, yeah.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, I stole it from South Park. Who cares? 200 episodes.
It's whatever.
Yeah. The previous 199 all live at our website. It's thismeetsthat.com. Celebrate.